As a brain doctor, I'm shocked. This common fruit may raise stroke risk overnight. When most people think of stroke risk, they picture high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or family history, and they're right. But what if I told you there's one unexpected trigger hiding in your fruit bowl that could silently increase your risk overnight? I'm a brain doctor. I've spent decades studying the causes and consequences of stroke, particularly in older adults. And nothing surprised me more than the recent data showing that one specific fruit, long thought to be healthy, could actually be harmful when consumed at the wrong time or in the wrong amounts, especially if you're over 50. So let's get into the science, the risks, and the steps you can take today to protect your brain. Why stroke risk rises after 50. First, a quick reminder. Stroke is a medical emergency caused by a sudden interruption of blood flow to the brain. And while strokes can happen at any age, your risk increases significantly after age 50. Why? Blood vessels stiffen with age. Plaque builds up in arteries. Inflammation becomes more common. Many adults develop high blood pressure or diabetes. Your brain, which depends on steady oxygen-rich blood, is especially vulnerable to these changes. That's why it's critical to identify all possible stroke triggers, including the ones hiding in plain sight, like diet. The shocking fruit that could raise your risk. Let's get to the heart of the matter. The fruit in question, grapefruit, that seemingly innocent, tangy breakfast fruit, can be dangerous for older adults under certain conditions. Why? Because grapefruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins, which can interfere with how your body processes medications, especially those used to manage blood pressure, cholesterol, heart rhythm, and blood clotting. When these medications aren't properly metabolized, their effects can become too strong, leading to dangerous drops in blood pressure, increased bleeding risk, or sudden changes in heart rhythm, all of which can trigger a stroke. How grapefruit interacts with common medications. Grapefruit disrupts an enzyme in the liver called CYP3A4. This enzyme is responsible for breaking down many drugs. When it's blocked, drugs stay in your bloodstream longer, essentially giving you a higher dose than intended. Some of the most effective medications include statins for cholesterol, like atorvastatin or simvastatin, calcium channel blockers for blood pressure, like amlodipine, antiarrhythmics for irregular heartbeat, anticoagulants, blood thinners, immunosuppressants, certain psychiatric drugs. In other words, if you're over 50 and taking medication, which many Americans are, grapefruit may not be your friend. In fact, it could quietly increase your stroke risk by interfering with your treatment. Real world, how one grapefruit can hurt. Let's say you're a 62-year-old man taking medication for high blood pressure and cholesterol. You swap out your morning muffin for a bowl of fresh fruit, including grapefruit. You feel good about the change. But what you don't realize is that your statin is now staying in your system much longer, increasing the risk of muscle damage, liver, stress, and stroke. All because of one fruit. This isn't fear-mongering. It's a documented interaction backed by decades of clinical research and acknowledged by the FDA. Silent danger of stroke. Strokes don't always come with warning signs, and they don't always present as dramatic collapses. Especially in older adults, symptoms can be sudden confusion or brain fog, blurry vision in one eye, slurred speech or difficulty finding words, weakness or numbness in one arm or leg, dizziness or imbalance. The problem? These signs can easily be mistaken for fatigue or just getting older, but they may be the first signs of brain damage, and time is brain. Avoiding this risk doesn't require cutting out all fruit or being afraid of breakfast. It just takes awareness and a conversation with your doctor. Step 1. Know your medication. Check your prescriptions and see if grapefruit is listed as a warning. If not sure, ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider. Step 2. Read all labels. Even grapefruit juice can be a problem. Some medications interact with as little as 1 glass. Step 3. Consider alternatives. Love citrus in the morning? Try oranges, tangerines, or berries instead, fruits that don't interfere with medications. Step 4. Don't stop meds on your own. Never stop a medication or change your dose just because of something you read online. Always consult your doctor. Step 5. Prioritize regular checkups. Especially after 50, schedule annual exams, monitor your blood pressure and cholesterol, and keep open communication with your physician. Other foods that may affect stroke risk. While grapefruit is a standout example, it's not the only food to be cautious with as you age. Here are a few others that might surprise you. Processed meats, like bacon, sausage, high in sodium and preservatives linked to inflammation. Diet soda. Some studies link artificial sweeteners to increase stroke risk in older adults. White bread and refined carbs can spike blood sugar and promote insulin resistance. Trans fats, still found in some baked goods and fast food, harmful to brain blood flow. Again, the goal isn't to avoid all risk, but to manage it wisely. A brain doctor's final stroke is preventable. Here's the bottom line. Strokes are not inevitable. In fact, the vast majority of strokes can be prevented through smart lifestyle choices, especially around age 50 and beyond. So, what should you do? Eat a brain-healthy diet rich in leafy greens, berries, fish, olive oil, and whole grain. Move your body. Even a 30-minute walk daily makes a difference. Get your blood pressure and cholesterol checked regularly. Sleep well and manage your stress. Be cautious with foods that may interfere with your medication, like grapefruit. After 50, life changes. Your priorities shift. You start thinking more about your long-term health, your legacy, and the quality of your years, not just the quantity. And at the center of all that, your brain. Your brain isn't just an organ. It's the home of your memories, the core of your independence, the source of your personality, and the driver of your decisions. It's what allows you to connect with your loved ones, laugh at your favorite jokes, and navigate life with clarity. That's why protecting your brain health, especially after age 50, is one of the smartest investments you can make in your future. And sometimes, protecting your brain doesn't require a big dramatic change. It can be as simple as paying attention to what's on your plate, what medications you take, and yes, even what fruit you're having for breakfast. Grapefruit may seem harmless, even healthy, but if you're taking medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or your heart, this one fruit can quietly disrupt how your body processes those drugs, potentially raising your risk for serious complications, including stroke. It's not about fear, it's about knowledge. And knowledge gives you control. So here's the bigger truth. It's often the small, daily habits, the things you repeat every morning and every night, that create either a safe, supportive environment for your brain or set the stage for long-term damage. Every choice matters. Choosing whole, brain-supportive foods over processed options. Moving your body regularly, even if it's just a walk around the block. Getting enough quality sleep. Managing stress in healthy ways through connection, nature, breathing, or mindfulness. Understanding how your medications interact with your diet, and talking to your doctor regularly about your risks and options. And here's the most important part. Don't wait. Stroke often strikes without warning. One day you're fine. The next, you're facing a life-altering event that could affect your speech, memory, movement, even your ability to care for yourself. But the good news is, many strokes are preventable with smart choices and early action. So take your brain health seriously, not out of fear, but out of love for the life you still want to live. Because life after 50 should be vibrant. It should be filled with purpose, connection, curiosity, and joy. Be informed. Be proactive. Talk to your doctor. Read your labels. Ask questions. Make conscious choices. Protect your brain. Protect your life. Because your best years can still be ahead, and your brain deserves to be there for every moment of them.